Hi, I'm Ben Jurist, co-founder of Grain Group, a performance marketing agency based in New York City.
High growth brands move fast, but we've all seen brands raise the big round, spend the big round, and that's it. Where does the industry need to draw the line between speed and accountability?
Sure. I think it's a really great question. And we start all of our conversations, as transparently and as open as possible about what our clients are trying to achieve and the timeline with which they are trying to achieve those types of goals. Ultimately, it's about thinking about our clients as partners, not as transactions. As exciting as it is to raise that round and get in market with a big campaign, we really have to pressure test all of the questions and assumptions that our clients have and be that partner to help them understand there are multiple paths to achieving their goal. And sometimes the answer is speed, and sometimes the answer is really accountability and thoughtfulness in terms of managing those investments. Fortunately, the bar has really lowered for clients in terms of data and testing and the world of synthetic audiences that really help us pressure test that product market fit and responsiveness to advertising messages before we put them in market. So where we work with our clients, above all, is to help them make really smart investments and decisions that they're going to be able to bring back to their investors to make sure that they have continuity of investment and trust. Because just like our clients have bestowed that trust upon us, they're looking for the same trust from their boards, their investors, that they're making the right decisions and investing as wisely as they possibly can. So it's a partnership. It's about understanding again the horizon. And for a lot of these companies, what they don't want to be put in is a position where they only have one bullet in the chamber and it's got to hit. So we help them sort of hedge some of those bets, learn a little bit faster, but help them give themselves the runway for longevity.
As we know, not all impressions are created equal, but many brands are still buying with that conviction. What does it cost them when they optimize for scale over signal?
Signal is really everything today. Impressions are almost a quaint metric in an age of outcome-based buying. This is not to say that impressions are invaluable. They certainly are, and we think a lot and we think critically about the channels, the mediums, the resonance of those impressions. But frequency, even on its own, is a highly undervalued metric, especially for breakthrough and challenger brands. But increasingly, impressions are not the metric of success. If you have the right data, the right pipes set up, you're optimizing towards actual business outcomes. The impressions become sort of a meaningless metric. What brands really crave today, above all, again, is that layer of accountability to understand what type of outcome they're going to drive. This is not just for performance marketers; it's for brand marketers as well. And again, signal comes from data, interconnectivity, measurement, having the right measurement solutions in place to ensure, again, every dollar is being put into market is working as hard as it possibly can.
And now, switching gears, as automation and AI take more control of media buying decisions, how much should buyers actually trust the algorithm, and what data do they need to hold before you hand over the keys?
Buying without a firm measurement and learning plan in place, whether it's agentic buying, whether it's manual buying, I think is the number one mistake and trap that brands and even agencies fall into today. Agentic buying or machine learning buying is predicated on the quality of the data. These algorithms are trained ruthlessly to optimize towards a metric, but you need crystal clear clarity that you're optimizing towards the right metric in the first place. And there's a lot of vanity metrics. Even ROAS can be deeply, deeply misleading if you don't understand how it is being measured, if it's being modeled, is it incremental, is it net new customers? So we can trust the algorithms only as much as we can trust ourselves to point it in the right direction. And I think that's really the gap. Once you are crystal clear on what your metric of success is, and sometimes that means digging 2 or 3 stages deep into the funnel. We work with, whether it's commerce clients or lead generation clients, even a lead or a click, it's sort of a false signal. Really, sometimes we have to dig 2 or 3 levels deeper into clients' back-end CRM systems to be able to connect the right data point into these buying systems. So we deeply leverage machine learning and agentic buying, but I think the common mistake is optimizing towards what is effectively a vanity metric versus a key business indicator.
Brand versus performance used to be a budget line. Is that distinction still meaningful, or are the best campaigns making it irrelevant?
The absolute best campaigns are invisible. The budget lines become invisible to the consumer, and they sort of blow the doors off this idea of the compartmentalization of budgets between brand and performance, because to a consumer they're ultimately seamless. They've done enough world building that it feels like one cohesive message. We've by and large seen many brands move away from this. Why? Because it's really hard. CMOs change. There's competing priorities, and we see a lot of short-term campaigns versus or short-term messaging changes versus really holistic campaigns. And I think it's to the disservice of building great brands, which requires thinking holistically about measurement and success, and really getting alignment internally. The increased specialization within marketing has created a multi-layered system within brands where you have different stakeholders who are effectively optimizing towards sometimes competing and opposite metrics. So there's a brand team, there's a CMO that might be at odds with a performance director or an e-commerce director who are really focused on their individual KPIs. But again, back to the question, the best campaigns transcend those things. They're world building. They're building creative messaging assets that work holistically across the funnel. You can only do this. You can really only do this and get out of this budget line item by line item optimization with holistic measurement in place. Our BI team is consistently doing really some groundbreaking work in media mix modeling that allows clients to move really fast and really quickly to look holistically at channel contributions, incrementality, and how the whole thing is laddering up to moving the needle on their brands.